Hello and welcome to this physical education lesson. Now, I have been asked to present a 20-minute physical education program based on the lesson plan that I sent you guys. Now, the topic I chose is football, of course, and the lesson will be basically 20 minutes long. Now, before each class, I gather all my students together and I sit them down and I start the class in a very in an informal way, but we have a sort of a little discussion. Okay, and in this discussion, I firstly I tell them the objectives of the class, and then the objective standards of the class and what is expected of them and what we are going to do in this class. Now, with the IB curriculum or IB education, inquiry is very important, an inquiry statement. So when I'm teaching at your school, the first thing that I will do, or the first statement that I will make to these children, is the inquiry statement. An inquiry statement for this lesson is twofold. The first one is that leading an active lifestyle is beneficial to one's health and one's body will be more energetic. Okay, that's the first statement. And the second statement that I will make is, if you are good in dribbling and passing skills, then you will be a better football player. So those are the two statements that I will make, and then I will pose the questions to the learners. The first question is, why is it that leading an active lifestyle is beneficial to my health? The second question is, how many times a week do I have to be active to become healthier? And the third question is it important to have good dribbling and passing skills if you want to be a good football player? So those are the three questions, and then I will ask my students to come together and quickly discuss this for 2 or 3 minutes, and after the class, when we are finished, we will then quickly answer those questions. Also very important in the IB curriculum is the approaches to learning, and in this specific learning class, we are going to focus on the behaviorist approach. Now, the behaviorist approach says that I'm going to demonstrate, the expert, the coach or the teacher will demonstrate the skill to the learners, then the learners will observe it, then they will execute it, they will do it, then they will repeat it, repeat, and then there will be feedback, my positive and negative feedback, to help them improve. Okay, so they look at me, I demonstrate, they look, and then they do, and it's all about repetition. Then I will get them and we will start a dynamic warm-up, which I will show to you now. So a dynamic warm-up is basically movements that mimics the action that we are going to do in the activities. Now, for the football, we are going to do a lot of running activities, moving around with our legs. So we are focusing on stretching and doing dynamic stretching for our legs. Okay, now the first one is going to be for the hamstrings, and we are going to walk 1, 2, make sure you stretch there and up, and 1, 2 and up, and then we're going to keep on walking. We're going to do it 10 times that way, and then we're going to do the same thing back 10 times this way, and in that way you are activating these hamstring muscles of yours. Of course, the teacher will explain this to the students every single time. They will explain exactly why we're doing it and why it's important to do this. Okay, now the second exercise is for the quads, and we are same thing. We're gonna stretch our quads like this, our quadriceps, 1, 2, and walk, and then the other leg, 1, 2, and it's important to only keep it for 2 seconds, because we just want to activate the muscle and then release, as if we are running or jumping. If I'm running or jumping, I'm activating and releasing, and activating and releasing. Okay, so we're going to do it that way, and then we're going to do it back as well. Third exercise, and this is going to be the second last one, is going to be a big lunge to stretch the groin muscles. Okay, so it's a big lunge and you push your hips down to the ground and up. Big lunge and up. Big lunge and up. Once again, 2 seconds, and we're gonna go back. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, and 10 times that way and 10 times back. Okay, make sure that we are really loose and everything. Now the next one is we're going to do a little bit of a rhythm exercise to get the hammies and the glutes, the bum, activated. Okay, and we're just going to go like a nice on the spot, and then we're going to go a high kick and there, and a high kick, and a high kick, and a high kick. Okay, and this is very important for football as well, because that acceleration of the hamstring is very important for fast movements. Okay, and then the last exercise for the warm-up is just going to be a high knees. Once again, a nice rhythm to get into that rhythm of the football game. Okay, so nice and high knees. Just going to go all the way here, and then we're going to go back as well, all the way back. Okay, and that is our introduction and our warm-up. Normally that will take about 5. Now we are moving on to the content of our lesson, and this is now the skills that I, the teacher, am gonna teach for the learners. Okay, and today, like I've explained to the children, the lesson outcomes is the dribbling skills and the passing skills, and we're focusing on the inside and the outside of the foot. So dribbling with the inside and passing on the outside of the foot. Outside is very difficult, but these are grade 10 learners. They are more advanced in their skills, so they should be able to do this. This is quite an advanced skill, and later on as well, because they are older and they know these skills. Okay, now as the teacher, I will firstly demonstrate the correct dribbling technique. Now my students are standing there, and I'm going to put the ball here, and I'm going to tell them that I want them to dribble with the inside of their foot. And I'm going to explain this to them. I'm going to demonstrate to them how this is done. Okay, so I'm going to show them the correct dribbling technique like this, and then I'm also going to go back and I'm going to show them how to dribble correctly. Okay, once I've done that a few times, I'm going to call the one student to the front, somebody that's willing to do this. I'm not going to make them feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to call them forward. Somebody that's willing, somebody who puts up their hands. I'm going to ask that person, boy or girl, to then demonstrate as well to the learners. And normally they want to do this because it's fun and exciting, and they sort of want to show off their skills. So there they are going to dribble for the students. Okay, this will take about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the first activity, the real drill activity. And this is 10 cones that I've put out, and all my students are going to line up in a line, and we are going to dribble all the way there and all the way back, and then the next person will come, or the next. If we have more balls, we can make more lines, so we can do it more. The more you do it, the better you'll become. Okay, so I'm going to start. So I need to dribble through these cones as quickly as possible without touching them. And around. Okay, now if you are a good football player, then this is quite easy. Now I'm going to ask my students to do it as well, and they're going to dribble through and back. The next one will go, and it's all about repetition. Like I explained in the beginning, this is all about repetition. All of these skills that we're doing is going to be important for repetition. So the more time we have, the more we can do it. So we're only 20 children in this class, so they're going to be able to do it 3, 4, 5 times even if we have a disciplined class and there's not too much distractions. Now we're getting to our second and last skill, and this is going to be our passing skill. Okay, and we're going to have 3 activities. The first one, once again, the teacher will demonstrate, but I'm going to demonstrate kicking or passing from my inside of my foot and the outside of my foot. That's very important. Then the second one is we're going to have children opposite each other and passing towards each other with the inside of their foot. And then the last activity is going to be a big L. So you can see there's the first cone, moves to this cone, and then they will have to do a lateral pass to that side, a cross kick basically to that cone. And that is the 3 activities that we will do now. So firstly, the teacher will once again demonstrate how to do the kick. I will get one child to stand there about 20 meters away from me, and I will then explain to them, when you kick, you need to step very close to the ball and then come in with your inside of your foot and swing through. That is very important, to step close and to swing through. Okay, so we're going to take 2 or 3 steps back, and I'm going to show them the correct technique now. Are you ready? Yeah. So I'm there and I'm kicking towards that person, and that person now has the ball, and they can then kick back to me. If we have many balls, we can do that lots of time, many 10, 20 times if we have enough time. We have about 5 minutes for this activity. Okay, so as you will be able to see, here's the first student, and then there 20 meters further up is the second line of students, and now they will now kick towards each other with the right technique, stepping close and swinging through with the inside of the foot. So I am here, I'm stepping close, and I'm kicking towards that person. That person stops, kicks back, and we're gonna do it a lot of times. So that is the second activity. Okay, now the last activity, and we have 10 minutes left, 5 minutes for this, and maybe I have 12 minutes left. 7 minutes for this activity, and then 5 minutes for the stretch down. So this activity is basically an L, like I explained. We will all stand on this side, and I will have a helper on that side. We will catch the ball with their feet, stop it, and then kick it back. Okay, so the children are going to dribble the ball to here, and once I get here, they're going to go around the cone and pass it to the side, so a cross pass. Okay, so let me show once again. I'll demonstrate first. Okay, so I'm going to dribble with the inside of my foot, and once I get here, I'm going to pass to the left. And that is basically the whole lesson. That's 35 minutes already. We've warmed up, I've shown them, I've demonstrated the techniques. Remember, we're doing the behaviorist approach, so I've demonstrated all the actions. They've performed, they've observed it, they've performed it, and then they will have done repetition, and then I will give them feedback. Okay, but now we're all going to come together at the end, and we're going to do static stretching. And while we're doing static stretching, this is now for the hamstrings, I'm going to start asking them these questions, the inquiry questions again, and then they must answer it to me. They've discussed this in the beginning, and now they are going to answer it to me. So I'm going to ask them, Jason, why is it important to have a physical lifestyle? Why is it that you are healthier when you do that? Then Jason is going to answer and say that if you are fitter, you are healthier, your heart will pump harder, so your heart muscles will be stronger, so your heart won't overwork. It means that you will get more oxygen to your brain. You don't have to use as much energy, and you'll get more oxygen, and thus you'll concentrate better, so you'll actually do better in school. Okay, then I'll ask Mary, why is it, do you think it is important to have good soccer, good passing and dribbling skills if you want to be a good football player? And then Mary would say, yes, it is important, because that is the essentials of football, is to dribble through a gap or past an opponent, and then to pass the ball. And then just like that, the lesson is finished, and they've learned the skills that they need to learn. And now it's important for them to actually go home and to practice this at school or with their friends, so that they can then achieve standard outcome number 2, to actually use these skills and lead a continuously active lifestyle. And that is how we achieve both standard outcomes number 1 and number 3 in this lesson plan. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy your day. Goodbye.